In this video, you will learn how to use your Global Audit Ready application to create a new process or control associated with a requirement. And I will also demonstrate how to implement the periodic process control to open tasks and send reminders when evidence is due. Then I will go over 3 ways to associate a piece of evidence in the reporter. Either use the document library, the document loader, or linked to evidence. The document library is used when a document's old version retires when a new version is created. You will place items such as procedures, agreements, and station diagrams in the document library. Let's set up a new process for SIP 004 5.1. We will do this by clicking on the Global Audit Ready Reporter and selecting SIP 004 5.1 and then select R1. From here we have the option to add a new process or add an existing process. I will first select from the option to add from an existing process. I can select directly from the inventory of all existing processes or use the option to drill down by the process that are the responsibility of the specific subject matter expert, or drill down by the regulation, standard, and requirement. The procedure we use for SIP 004 3.1 is the same procedure we will use for SIP 004 5.1 R1. If I want to edit the process, I will click on the Edit Process. I can change the subject matter expert, add a document from the document folder, and add other metadata that is used by the program for information and control. Add a note of a page or section number of a document placed in the document library. I can see the operating bulletin Critical Cyber Asset Training is already selected. I can add additional procedures if needed by holding the Control key down at the same time as selecting the additional documents. To deselect, I simply release the Control key and select the item I wish to retain if using only one document. Or if I wish to deselect all documents, then I will once again hold the Control key down and select the remaining documents highlighted in blue. Now, I do not have any documents associated with this process. For the new version of the standard, I've implemented a new control. Now, I need to add a new process. Here, I click Add New Process. I'm going to give it the title Training Log Cybersecurity Awareness. I will type in the narrative that describes the process. I'll select the subject matter expert, select the control type of preventative, put in the link to the training log for cybersecurity awareness. I'm going to hide this process from the document loader because the subject matter expert will never upload individual records to the process, because evidence is a SharePoint training log itself. Now that I have all the processes and controls documented, I want to make sure that each process appears in the order I want it to appear on the reporter. I can rearrange by entering the sequence. Once established in the correct order, I will select Save. Last, let's talk about the periodic task reminder controls by reviewing the setup from the process titled Cybersecurity Awareness Quarterly Postings. I will click on the reminder controls. Notice the next start date, next due date, cycle days before due, and escalation groups are filled in. The data request flag is unchecked. These fields are used to send out periodic reminders. Next start date. Enter the date that the subject matter expert can begin to perform the work. This is a date when a task will be opened, the status for the process will be changed to open task, and the email reminder will be sent to the SME. Next due date. Enter the date that the work must be completed by. Cycle. Enter the number of months between each time the activity must be completed. Days before due. Enter the number of days the task should be escalated if not already completed. Escalation group. Enter the group name that should be notified if the work is not completed by the number of days before due. For the periodic process reminders, the workflows are initiated when the start and end date and cycles are entered into the system. The workflow immediately pauses and waits for the next test date. On that date, a new task is created, an email reminder is sent, and the process status is set to open task. What happens when a document is loaded? The task is closed, the process is changed to compliant or evidence review required, the next start date and the next due date are incremented by the number of months established by the cycle. An option to require additional review is established in the Global Audit Ready setup by your administrator. In this case, the status is changed to evidence review required when the document is loaded. Now you are ready to use the document loader to load new evidence when received into the system. View the video for how to upload new evidence using Global Audit Ready for additional instructions. Cooper Compliance is happy to provide this easy-to-use tool that provides an intuitive method for documenting your compliance programs and ensuring you are audit ready at all times.